Yeah, today in this session we'll cover about the pointers. So we will first know why pointers are needed. Okay, this is a very important chapter and this is an important construct in C which can be used for multiple purpose. Okay, like this is one of the main feature of C which makes C very strong. So what do you mean by pointer? So in normal scenario, pointers, okay, if you want to point to someone, okay, you are in a room and in a classroom and you have 10 or 20 members in it and you want to point to someone, okay, so you will be pointing him by through your hand, you will be pointing him, but you will tell what is the name, okay, so that he will recognize, okay, we are pointing to him. Otherwise people will not be knowing whom you are pointing, because based on your direction, no, you may point to the other one and you may call other person. So pointer is what it means is it's a pointer is a variable, okay. In C, if you take pointer is a variable, you can consider it as a special variable which stores, pointer is a variable, okay, which stores address of another variable of same data type, okay. So if you consider here, we let's now start. So how we will differentiate between a normal variable and a pointer? So as you know, so integer I is a normal variable. So when you want to create a pointer, what you can do is you can use star, which indicates it's a pointer, okay, it is not a normal variable. This is a variable which stores address of another variable of same data type. So same data type in the sense, so ptr will store a address of int I, okay, because I is of same data type. If you take a char of C, character of C, so you can't store the address of a C into this pointer. Why you are storing address? If you take anything, okay, each person will be having their home and it is associated with the address. So if you want to call your friend to your home, so what you will tell, okay, I am located at this location and this is our address. By that he will come and he will come to your home to meet you. So without the address you can't meet him. In the same way, what you will do is you will store a value that is nothing but the address of the variable into the pointer, so that using that you can access it. And the same can be used for other purpose also, okay. The same pointer address for all people will be different, but whenever they are giving one like information, this is my address, this is my address, okay. Same here, the same pointer you can use for representing a different address, but you need to store that. The main, if you see here, we want to Like how we will, next step what we need to do is how we will initialize a pointer. Initialize pointer variables. How you will initialize? So let's say if you want to initialize a normal variable, you are initializing using okay any value in type, but pointer is a special variable, special type of variable. So always what you want, if you want to initialize a pointer with a value, you will use ampersand of I. What this will do is this will stores address of I into pointer ptr, and if you want to access that value, what you can do is you can use star ptr. Okay, star ptr you can access, or you want to update that value, you can update. So here what it does, it initializes content of this pointer to 20. So in ptr what we are storing, we are storing a address of I, so which will be located at some address I. Okay, so I is allocated to some address. Okay, so address is nothing but a definite location. Okay, if you have a 4 GB of memory, so from 0 to like FFFFF, that is the value, and based on the data type you will have that much bytes. Int will have bytes of 4 or 8 based on the processor architecture. Character will have always 1 byte. So in wherever you have a gap, wherever you have a memory, free memory, it will go and allocate there. So now we will see. So this is how we are initializing variable pointer variables. This is called a static initialization. Okay, because statically you are initializing. If you want to do a dynamic allocation, then you will be using malloc calloc. That we will cover in the next session. Coming to now, so here what we are doing, we are first we can print the value of I. Okay, you print I equal to percentage %d. Okay, so here you are printing a I. So what you are doing, so here I value is 10 because you have initialized, but you have taken an address here, you are initializing pointer to address of I, and you are changing here. So let's take what is the value of I after adding, after initializing, okay, content of pointer to 20. So what you are doing here, this is star ptr is referred as content of pointer. Okay, content of this pointer. In this pointer, what is the content? And this is called address. So now you can see percentage slash t I. Okay, and if you want to print star ptr, okay, you can print that also. And okay, this is pointer values. Okay, so value of I and value of star ptr, both are same, and you need to always, you can see the address. Okay, by using pointer p. Okay, so address of I is nothing but star p slash t, and address of PTR pointer star P. Okay, so you can always see how this will be there. Ampersand of I, which will give the address. Okay, that is what you are initialized here, and PTR will give the address. So now you can see how we are. When you just run it, you will understand. Okay, what is implicit declaration of printf? Where is print? Okay, where is printf? Okay, this is the one. Yeah, now you run it. Okay, okay, see here, value of I. You can see, okay, initial value of I is here, we have assigned value of I as 10, and you are printing the value of I. So I value is 10, but when you are using pointer, what you are doing, you are initializing a address of a variable I to PTR, and then what you are doing, you are changing content of that pointer to 20. What it does, it will change the value of I, actual value of I to 20. Why it does? Same thing will happen when, for example, somebody you have, take a best example as a rented house. Okay, rented house also has an address. So you are taking a rent in some location, and then you are staying there, and that is your value. Okay, Saurabh is staying in uh, some Vijayanagar. Okay, near Vijayanagar he is staying. So the moment you can't pay them, they will throw you out, and somebody else is coming. That is the updated value. Okay, so at the same address, you can allocate many people there. If they are paying rent, then they will be the one who will be staying there. You can take a best example as PG itself. Okay, so if you go to PG, you are paying rent for 1 month, they will be allocating you a place that is nothing but an address. Okay, where you are staying for 1 month. After 1 month, what will happen if you are not paying? Then somebody else will pay. Then they will get that address and they will use it. So that is the same here. Here initially, maybe like you can take Saurabh is staying. Okay, you can just take an example, and then when you are not paying, the PG owner will allocate that to somebody else. This may be, we can refer as a X person, new person. So that is how pointers works. It's a simple way, and this is a very important concept you need to understand. Okay, you can challenge me. This is C. Okay, what we are doing here, we are taking value of I and value of PTR. So both are pointing to the same location. So this is what you can see, the address of I is this, address of PTR is same, because you have assigned. This is not a magic. You have assigned the address of I to PTR. Now PTR is having access to this. You can take one example as a key lock. Okay, key. So each key will have, lock will have 4 5 keys, and people can access. So if you are staying in a room and you have 4 friends, you have 4 keys, then he can come and he can use it. Whenever you are there, you can use it. So that is how this will work. Okay, so you are storing address, and this is a value of, your value is 10, his value is like 20, somebody's value is 30, another value is 40. Whenever people are using, They are just initializing that, okay, they are using, and it will be done. So same address we are doing it, okay. And you can take another example, okay. See here, here I have taken a I, then you take another as a J. So now what you can do is, now you are initializing here. Now you can again take PTR, okay, and then initialize to J, and above initialize J to 100, okay. Now what you do, you print. Now you do a value of print of J. What you will find? You just check it. J, okay. J, okay. Address of, this is very important. Address of J, address of J. Yeah. So if you see here, here I have initialized J. Okay. Oh, here it is I. Okay. We should not replace, because first we will be storing I, then we will be storing J. Now you see, it is not a magic, it is how it is working, okay. Connect. So we need to run it. Okay, oh, it has come. See here. So you can go one by one so that you will understand it. So what we have done, first initially I is 10 and we are printing I value, and what we are doing, we are initializing pointer to address of I, and now I also represents as a pointer, also represents as a I, okay. So it's like same person, like same, you have given authority that you can behave like him, okay. That is, that location can be used by two-person. So pointer, he is going and he is accessing I, and now he is a owner of it. So either you can use I to manipulate, or you can use star PTR to manipulate its value, content of that. So that is what we are doing here. I, we are initializing I PTR equal to excuse me 20, and PTR now become 20, and when you are printing that, I value is 20, so PTR is 20. Address of I is same, okay. Address of, if you see here, and what we are doing, we are taking another variable J, okay, which may be at different address. If you see, the address of this and this are different, okay. J is a different address, I is a different address. What we are doing, now we are taking J and we are initializing J equal to 100, and now what we are doing, we are using a pointer and we are initializing J to pointer to point to the address of J. Now pointer will point to J, not I. So it's up to you where you want to point. So pointer is a tool, like you can consider that as your one tool which can point to anything, and you need to use that tool in an efficient way to point wherever you want. Instead of like taking hundred or thousands of variable, one pointer you can take and you can use that to point to any variable, but condition is of same data type, okay. Address of J. You can say here it is a different address. So where actual J is sitting. Okay. If you are taking a some 4 GB of RAM, so that will be at some address. This is address where 4 bytes of memory is free, and there you are storing your I values, and using pointer you are pointing to that value. Pointer is a very, like, you need to be using that very carefully. Suppose you are pointing that to the starting location, and you are putting some value there, and your OS may crash, and whatever you want to do you can do it. Okay. So it is, that is where you need to be very careful when you are initializing pointer. Always initialize to null and use it for which variable you want to initialize. It should not point to system memory where it will point, and if you corrupt that, then your program software will crash. So again, if you see here, we have printed J. Okay. Now again, what you can do is, you can again, next step. Okay, I can again change PTR. Okay, I can again change J value by using star PTR. Okay, star PTR, I will make it as a 99. Okay, now you do, or now you see what will happen. See, so initially I value IPTR 20, then I address is same. If you see, okay, last time this address was different. Okay, it was not this. Now it has changed, because when we are executing, wherever the free location is there, it will give us. You can see, okay, now it is FFD 98 and FFD, okay, 7FF 7FFF 7FFF D0298 for I location, and this is 7 triple F 7FF D029C. And if you run it again, this value will change, because it will keep on allocating whichever is free. Okay, of 4 bytes. And you can always see pointer also. If you want to see the address, you can see that. Okay, that is also having, that will be also stored in one location where that address will be there. Okay, so content of pointer, you are taking this. If you see, now what I have done here, I have changed using pointer, I have changed J value, and it is changing J also. Okay, so again you can do one more time. Now what we'll do is, we'll change PTR to ampersand of I, and now we'll make I as 999, and what we do is, we'll again print I. Now we can see, earlier it was 7FFA, and last it was something else, correct? D, now it is DA028, A02C. Earlier it was some other location. Every time when you are running a program, this address is getting changed, because when you are running at that time, whichever location memory is free, I is stored there. Okay, see here. Now the third place, now we have pointing PTR to I using ampersand of I. Okay, we are initializing pointer to ampersand of I, and I 999. So now we are printing I. This is how it will be. So till now I will give you one more very good example how you are already, you are using address. Okay, you are using address, but you are not aware of that you are using pointer concept in your existing programs where you are already knowing. No, best example is a scanf. Okay, you can always see, if you want to, here we are taking a I values. Okay, What you can do is here, okay, best you can take printf, okay. After doing this, printf, enter the value of I. So how you can take a value? You will take a value from where you will take using scanf. So what you are doing here when you want to take a value, you are using ampersand of I. So this is nothing but in scanf you are passing the address where you need to store that value. What you are storing, you are telling ampersand of I. So that is same here. So here you are using pointer and you are storing the address here. In scanf you are storing in some location. That is what here it is telling. Take a input from user from the console and store it in this address ampersand of I. This is same as this. Already you are using it, but you are not aware. That is what I was always explaining you. When we come to the pointer concept, I will tell you why we are using ampersand of I in scanf. When you are printing, okay, print I value is percentage D, okay, and its address is percentage P, and you can print I and you can print ampersand of I. Now we can see already you have clarified all these things. Now always we are indirectly using addresses, okay. When you want to take an input from the user, you are always taking ampersand of I. For integer you will use percentage D, for character you will use percentage C, for string you will not use ampersand, you will just use str where it has taken as array. Why? Because array name itself will give a starting address. That is why you are not using ampersand for when you are taking a string. You will use percentage yes. Okay, now let's see this. See, enter the value of I. So I am writing 67895. Okay, see, value of I is whatever you are printing, whatever you have taken from the scanf. What is the address of it? This is same as this. Okay, this is not a difference. So wherever you are taking input from the using scanf, you are passing address. You don't know why you are taking ampersand there. So if you want to store any value, you need to pass a address of it so that it will the value will get stored at that address. Pointer is doing the same thing. It is pointing to that address and it is writing whatever value you want. Scanf, here also it is doing the same thing. It is taking input and it is writing that value to the address what you have specified here. So you can always verify, okay. If I'm so as an engineer, you need to always prove. You should give a proof that it is a valid point. That is how I am explaining you. See here, this is the address, this is the address. Okay. Now you understand the address concept. This is very very important. So what in the next session we will cover about more details about the pointers, pointer arithmetic, and more. We'll give take some examples where we can work it out with pointers. Okay, and we'll again cover how pointers and arrays are interchangeably used. Both are similar. Okay, thank you.